5 years after their bitter divorce, Marcus Jefferson thought he had it all: wealth, power, success. But everything changed when the woman he once loved, and lost, appeared in the headlines. Layla Washington, his ex-wife, now leads one of the most powerful corporations in the world. Her name, once tied to his, has now taken on a life of its own. And in that moment, Marcus knew one thing: his world was about to shift in ways he never expected. Layla wasn't just another corporate player. She wasn't someone he could dismiss as a passing phase, someone who would fade into the background. No, this was the woman who once stood by his side, the one who had walked away from him, just like he'd walked away from her. And now, she was running a Fortune 50 company. But how? How did she rise from the ashes of their broken marriage to take the world by storm? 5 years have passed, but the echoes of their marriage still haunt him. In every corner of his empire, Marcus has built walls to keep out the past. But now, Layla has shattered those walls with one simple headline. And with it, she's set off a chain of events that will forever alter the course of their lives. Marcus Jefferson, the 42-year-old CEO of Jefferson Tech, is a man defined by ambition. Raised in a small town with big dreams, he built his empire from the ground up. What started as a modest tech startup grew into one of the most successful companies in the industry. His rise was marked by an aggressive drive, a thirst for control, and an unyielding desire to outpace his competition. Now, in 2028, Marcus sits at the top, a respected figure in the tech world, his name synonymous with innovation and power. But beneath the surface, there's a man constantly battling his own demons.
Welcome to Shocking True Crime. Thanks to all our viewers and subscribers for your support. Stay with us for daily updates on the most shocking true crime stories. Don't forget to subscribe.
His charisma and sharp intellect made him a titan in the corporate world, but those same qualities also earned him enemies. His competitive nature has often been described as ruthless, with little room for personal connections. In business, he's a machine, calculating every move, analyzing every opportunity. But in his personal life, things are far messier. The emotional scars from his marriage to Layla Washington, his ex-wife, linger long after their divorce. It's been 5 years since they separated, but Marcus can't quite shake the feeling that she still holds a piece of him, perhaps even more than he's willing to admit. His goal has always been clear: to maintain his position at the top. Jefferson Tech must continue to grow, to dominate the industry, and Marcus is willing to do whatever it takes to secure his legacy. Yet, every success is clouded by his past. Every decision is weighed down by unresolved feelings about Layla, feelings that he's buried but never truly dealt with. Marcus believes that if he just works harder, just reaches further, he can prove that he's more than the man who lost his wife. But now, as he watches Layla's rise, he is forced to confront the truth: some things are beyond his control, and sometimes, the past doesn't stay buried. Layla Washington, at 40, is a woman who has defied expectations at every turn. Once married to Marcus, she now stands as the CEO of one of the largest corporations in the world, a position few would have thought possible for a woman of color in a traditionally male-dominated, predominantly white industry. Her rise wasn't just a triumph of business acumen, it was a triumph of resilience, perseverance, and the kind of quiet strength that doesn't demand attention, but commands respect. Layla's journey to the top was anything but easy. After her divorce from Marcus, she spent years rebuilding herself, not just as a leader, but as a woman who had lost her identity in the shadows of her marriage. The divorce had left her emotionally bruised, but it also ignited a fire in her. She didn't just want to prove herself to the corporate world, she needed to prove to herself that her success wasn't a fluke, that she was more than just a figurehead or a wife. She was a force to be reckoned with. Her leadership style is bold, strategic, and compassionate. Layla took the reins of the company at a critical time, steering it through difficult challenges. But what really set her apart was her unwavering commitment to diversity and inclusion. Under her leadership, the company not only flourished financially, but it also became a beacon of change, breaking barriers for women of color and ensuring that the voices of those often overlooked were heard. Her success is a testament to her ability to make hard decisions, navigate corporate politics, and build a legacy on her own terms. Layla's goal, however, is not just about the title or the position. It's about redemption. It's about showing the world that her value was never defined by the man she once stood beside, but by her own skill, vision, and relentless drive. As she watches her ex-husband, Marcus, still at the top of his game, she knows that her success is not just personal, it's a statement. A statement that no matter where you start, no matter what you've been through, you can rise. Marcus Jefferson's rise from a small-town dreamer to a tech mogul is nothing short of extraordinary. At 42, he's the CEO of Jefferson Tech, a company that he built from the ground up. What started as a small, humble tech startup now stands at the forefront of the industry, with Marcus at the helm, commanding respect from competitors and colleagues alike. His ambition knows no bounds, his drive for success is relentless, and his ability to outmaneuver competitors is unmatched. He's a figurehead in the world of tech, known for his strategic mind and his ironclad resolve to stay ahead of the curve. But as the years pass, Marcus finds himself increasingly isolated. His personal life, which once seemed like a balance to his aggressive career, is now filled with remnants of the past. His divorce from Layla Washington, his ex-wife, left scars deeper than he's willing to admit. They say time heals all wounds, but for Marcus, time has only served to mask the truth. He moved on, focusing on expanding his empire, but in the quiet moments, when his thoughts wander, he still feels her absence in ways he never expected. It's been 5 years since their divorce, but the ghosts of their relationship, unresolved, unspoken, still haunt him. Marcus has always been driven by one thing, the need to be at the top. He cannot allow himself to lose focus, to let his empire slip from his grasp. Every decision, every strategy, is weighed against his need to maintain control, to keep pushing forward. Yet, the closer he gets to his goals, the heavier the weight of his past becomes. The more he achieves, the more he feels a distance between himself and the woman he once loved. Layla's rise, unexpected and fierce, has only intensified this feeling. She's no longer just an ex-wife, she's a threat to everything Marcus thought he was. And now, he must face the truth, no matter how much he controls, some things, some people, are simply beyond his grasp. At 40, Layla Washington is a force in the corporate world. Once married to Marcus Jefferson, she now stands as the CEO of one of the world's largest corporations, a position that, just a few years ago, seemed impossible for a woman of color in an industry dominated by white men. Her journey to the top has been a mix of determination, sacrifice, and strength. What truly sets her apart isn't just her sharp business mind, it's her ability to turn adversity into opportunity. Layla's path wasn't paved with accolades from the beginning. After her divorce from Marcus, she spent years rebuilding herself. The divorce had been more than just an end to a marriage, it had been a personal crisis that forced her to confront her own sense of self-worth. The woman who once stood in Marcus's shadow now had to find her own light, and she did so in the most powerful way. She was no longer just Marcus's wife, and she refused to let that label define her. Layla's rise is a testament to the power of resilience. As she took the reins of her company, she was faced with immense challenges. The company had been struggling, and she was expected to turn things around. She didn't just save the company, she transformed it. Under her leadership, the company not only saw record profits but also became a model for diversity and inclusion. She made bold decisions that prioritized women of color, breaking barriers that had previously been too high to climb. Layla's success wasn't just about the financial gains, it was about creating a legacy that stood for something greater than herself. Layla's goal was never about proving Marcus wrong. It was about proving to herself that her value was never tied to a man, no matter how successful. Her rise wasn't a reaction to Marcus's success, it was her own testament to what a woman, a mother, and a leader could accomplish when she was free to define her own destiny. As Marcus continues to thrive in his own empire, Layla knows that her success isn't just personal, it's a declaration. A declaration that no matter where you come from or what you've lost, you can rise, and you can lead. Layla didn't just ascend the corporate ladder, she redefined it. With every decision, every risk she took, she shattered the glass ceiling and became a force that even Marcus couldn't ignore. Her vision was no longer just about keeping the company afloat, it was about reshaping its future, about breaking the mold and challenging everything the corporate world once believed to be true. In her rise, she wasn't just rewriting business strategies, she was rewriting the very narrative of what it meant to be a woman in power. Layla's transformation was as much personal as it was professional. As she continued to push boundaries, she also began to reclaim parts of herself she had lost during her marriage to Marcus. The woman who once felt defined by her connection to him now stood on her own, her identity no longer tethered to the past. The woman who had once been scared to speak up, to make bold decisions, now made them with confidence, knowing that her worth was not dependent on anyone's approval but her own. She had rebuilt herself, not just as a leader, but as someone who had risen from the ashes of her past to become something greater than she had ever imagined. The more Marcus buries himself in his work, the more he feels the weight of his past. He can't escape the memories of Layla, the woman who once stood beside him, shared his dreams, and helped him build the life he thought he wanted. Now, as he watches her rise to the top, it forces him to confront the uncomfortable truth: he failed her. He failed to appreciate her, failed to protect their marriage, and now, he's left with nothing but a company that feels empty in comparison to the life he could have had. As Marcus watches Layla's ascent, he's faced with an uncomfortable truth: what he once believed was his success is now dwarfed by her achievements. Can Marcus handle the fact that the woman who once stood beside him is now miles ahead, not just professionally, but personally as well? The worlds of Marcus and Layla collide unexpectedly at a high-profile tech industry event. Both are invited to speak on a groundbreaking initiative that could change the future of technology. Despite their past, they are forced to collaborate on this project, putting aside their personal differences for the sake of professional success. The stakes are high, and the eyes of the industry are upon them. As they work together, the chemistry between them is undeniable. But it's complicated. There's a tension, rooted in old wounds, years of unresolved emotions, and the remnants of their marriage. Layla is determined to prove herself, her leadership now forged through years of struggle and sacrifice. Marcus, however, is caught between admiration for her growth and envy of her success. And beneath it all, buried deep, there's still love. In the world of business, there's no room for the past. But for Marcus and Layla, the ghosts of their relationship haunt every decision they make. This time, they are no longer just ex-spouses, they are competitors. As the project progresses, Marcus and Layla find themselves locked in a corporate showdown. Their professional lives, once intertwined, are now at odds. Marcus, who has always been in control, is hesitant to let go of the old ways that built his empire. Layla, however, is determined to push the company forward, advocating for innovative and disruptive changes that could transform the industry. She knows that the future of the company hinges on progress, not tradition. The tension between them builds to a breaking point. Layla's leadership is tested as she faces resistance from Marcus, whose desire to maintain control threatens to undermine the project. Marcus, though, is forced to confront his fear that the woman who once stood by his side is now in charge, and her success might overshadow his own legacy. As their professional rivalry intensifies, so does their personal history. In the face of competition, they must decide: will they tear each other down, or will they rise together? The corporate battle reaches its dramatic climax at a high-stakes board meeting. Tensions are high as Marcus and Layla present their final proposals, but as the discussion unfolds, Layla's vision and leadership shine through. The board, once skeptical of her leadership, now stands firmly behind her, supporting her innovative approach. The project is a resounding success, securing Layla's position as not just a leader, but a force in the business world. As Marcus watches her take control, a wave of realization washes over him. His envy, once consuming, begins to fade. He understands now that his resentment wasn't about Layla's success, it was about his own insecurities, his fear of being left behind. He had been so focused on maintaining control that he missed the opportunity to grow, to evolve. In the end, Marcus learns that success isn't about being at the top, it's about growth, redemption, and the strength to let go of the past. 5 years later, the ex-wife who once stood in Marcus's shadow now leads a Fortune 50 company. Marcus remains a powerful force in the business world, but his journey has changed. He has learned that the people we think we've left behind are often the ones who push us to be better. Their journey of power, redemption, and surprise is far from over. But one thing is clear, Layla Washington isn't just a woman who broke barriers, she's a woman who defined them.
Welcome to Shocking True Crime. Thanks to all our viewers and subscribers for your support. Stay with us for daily updates on the most shocking true crime stories. Don't forget to subscribe.